Man, one thing that life does not really prepare you for, no matter how much you may eat well or how often you exercise, life did not prepare you on how much energy parenting actually takes. Now, I'm not just meaning physical energy, I mean the mental energy, the emotional energy, the amount of patience required to do this thing full time. Because when you have young kids, you are not just managing schedules, you're not just managing emotions, meltdowns, you're carrying learning moments, crying, teaching, correcting, all of it, oftentimes in a matter of minutes. And honestly, daily exercise has really helped a lot with the way I approach fatherhood. So, not saying that I'm going to go into a whole fitness influencer spiel, but I will be going through the different ways and the way that I train my body and the way I shifted my perspective on exercise has helped so much in my fatherhood journey. Now, this isn't about, of course, being perfect, but how to be more patient, more calm, and even be more energized for this journey ahead. Welcome back to Life in Fatherhood. I am your host, Alonzo Williams, and today we're talking about something that has surprisingly changed my entire approach with my fatherhood. It's something I talk about a lot on this podcast, but I'm going to say it again, it's exercise. So, of course, not from a bodybuilding standpoint or not even just from a physical exertion standpoint, but really just a recent change in my perspective is like, how do I actually have the energy to raise my kids well? Because as you know, fatherhood isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's mental. Um, and it can, if you approach it, depending on how you approach it, it can be exhausting, it can stress you, overstimulate you, and really have you run on empty. So today, I just want to have a real conversation on how daily exercise has bettered my sleep, how running consistently and even hopping into the sauna has helped me help my approach on how I intentionally raise my kids. Now, let's get into it. So, anybody that knows me knows that I love to exercise. That is something for me that is a real non-negotiable. If I am not exercising, I can miss a day, I can miss two. But it's something about that third day. If I miss that third day, then my mind starts to spiral into a negative space. I start to lose energy, oddly enough, and my mood and my anxiety just goes through the roof. So, as you can tell, just off of that explanation, I love to exercise. So, since having kids, um, one thing I will say that exercising has been very different. Prior to having kids, I used to work out all the time. I used to average, 2 hours uh, a session. I used to really get the most out of my body, going hard in the gym, or even at home if I was doing at home workout. Since having kids, it shifted a lot, as you can imagine. Went from exercising consistently to now exercising when I could find the time, exercising when I had enough energy, or even it's a little bit enough sleep to go in and really get the most out of my body. But something that has recently shifted for our family is that we decided to, do something very different, which is join the YMCA. My wife and I talked about it. We looked it over. Of course, looking at our current budget, and we decided let's go ahead and do this. They have a child care and have a bunch of different amenities that we could take advantage of to help us. And I can really say that this membership, it's not just the membership that has elevated my fatherhood game, but it's what I guess you could say I allowed myself to learn from going to the Y. So, as you all know, fatherhood requires a lot of energy. So I'm going to talk about the physical aspect right now. As you know, of course, as many of you know, I do have a 2-year old, my youngest, he's a 2-year old, and he loves to run. And I don't just mean like run off. I mean he actually like runs. Like if you see him, his form is amazing for a 2 year old, and he's very fast. So getting into the space where as he's getting older and doing more climbing more, I recognize that yeah, I need to actually get my get my strength and my cardio up if I'm going to keep up with them. Now my oldest, he is, he runs, but he doesn't run as much as him, but still he can go if if you're not paying attention. So one thing that you know going having this membership and going consistently is that it's kind of made me feel more accountable towards myself and my health. Oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but because I've been able to exercise more, it's actually boosted my ability to sleep better. So, of course, you can't have energy if you get improper sleep. Now, before I used to do a lot of body weight, I kind of shied away from the weights. I used to grow up like in high school, college. I used to lift weights a lot. You know, as I got older, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna take my foot off the gas on the weights and just do different things like different calisthenics, walk, things like that, which is still good, very helpful. But I recently started getting back into weightlifting. Now, of course, I'm not lifting the amount of weight like I used to, but I am still lifting the weight that is challenging, but at the same time, I can do well. And to my surprise, as I've been lifting this weight consistently, one thing that I have noticed is that I feel more energy on the days that I lift weights versus the days that I don't. Now, I can't tell you the scientific breakdown on why that is, but that's what I've noticed. Especially the days where I lift legs. So for all of my fellows out there who focus only on upper body, don't kind of ignore the legs, I encourage you to, do something leg related, whether it's a leg press, leg curls, whatever. Because after the session, oddly enough, it's, for whatever reason, I feel calmer. I feel like I have more energy. So when my son does run and take off, I actually feel like I can do it and I'm able to without, you know, being frustrated about it. So if you're able to really get in that strength training, calisthenics, if you prefer calisthenics, continue to do that, of course. But I'm becoming more of an advocate in touching some weight along with that. Yeah, adding that extra stimulus to the muscle. Um, I guess it forces your body into a space to where it has to, you know, adapt and really. It's like your brain has to release some hormones to make you feel good about the work that you've done. I don't know the scientifics behind it, but that's my theory. So that's the physical side of it, the energy that comes from lifting those weights, and just a better mood. The next thing I want to get into is the other side of the physical. I've recently started back running. Once again, if you know me, you know I hate running. Um, Another thing that a lot of you may not know is that I do have flat feet. So you can imagine the amount of discomfort that I've experienced from running, which hence why I don't like running that much. But what's been a game changer for me is my wife and I, or really the whole family, we got the whole family these shoes called Hokas. It's Hoka. So these shoes have literally changed my life in terms of my walking and my running. Um, they even have some for like people with flat feet for that arch support. I'm going to get those next. But either way, like having these shoes has transformed my health to a great degree. Um, Now I'm running consistently with little to very little pain. Um, Really even no pain, based off the way that they're designed. Um, and since I've been running more, I could tell that it's helped me a lot in my mental because as I'm running, of course, it's challenging, but because I have my own goal of hitting like half a mile, it kind of pushes me deep in the mental way. Like I'm more aware of my body. I'm more aware of how I move my arms. I'm more aware of like my body posture as I'm running. Like, do I have a forward lean? Am I straight up and down? Am I like leaning back? You know, um, but running consistently, of course, running with my wife, it's helped me a lot mentally because it kind of gives me confidence. You know, that running, something I hate to do, now I'm starting to enjoy it. And so something that was once hard, now I'm able to do that hard thing consistently. You can imagine how that approach has now helped me in my fatherhood. Of course, the days where the boys wake up and they're on 10, or they wake up and they're in a bad mood, I don't feel as defeated or I don't feel as anxious as I normally do. I feel like, okay, I can go ahead and do this. I know I can. Now, this room right here is a major, major game changer for me. Um, Swimming and getting in the sauna. So my wife, she's a Florida baby. She's a Florida baby. She's from Orlando and all that. And so she, as you know, she loves water. Been around it all her life. I'm a Georgia boy. I'm from that red clay. Um, the neighborhood I grew up in wasn't any water around that, right? So if you wanted to swim, you had to go out your way, and I wasn't about to go out my way. I'm more of a nature person. I like to walk in nature, chill in nature. Um, I don't mind getting in the water. I'm cool with that. That's fine. But if I had to choose, I'm just be in nature. I'm about be around some trees and grass. Anyway, I digress. But getting in the pool, swimming around, getting in the whirlpool, I noticed that it gives such a relief to the nervous system. I don't know what it is, but getting in that whirlpool, getting in the water, going for a little swim, it takes a load off that nervous system. It's like the weight that you had on your shoulders is like it's lighter now, almost weightless even. Um, Getting in that sauna. Now, before I've never really gotten in the sauna. I didn't get in the sauna until I got this Y membership, and when I tell you that, um, it really does, like as you know, it flushes out your toxins and everything, and you really feel that. You really feel that. Um, and of course, it helps with the nervous system as well. So, like, of course, how this applies to fatherhood is by going in, taking care of yourself. Say you're getting in water. Say you don't want to swim, or let's say you can't swim. You can still do water workout. You still get in there, do some squats, do some high knees. You can, um, do some like jumping, like some jumps, water jumps or whatever. But getting in that water is so beneficial. That sauna, man, it's like sitting in that sauna, sitting in that heat. It's a different type of heat. It's not like sitting in the car when it's 100 degrees heat. It's like sitting in a blanket that really does flush you out and make you feel um, renewed once you get out of it. So while you're in there, it's hot, but it's not uncomfortable. And then by the time you get out, you feel relaxed. It's like it all the knots you had in your body, all the tension that you had in your body, whether it's your hips, your neck, your back. Um, I'm not joking, it goes away. And so, of course, you can imagine when it's time for you to go get the kids from the play area and it's time to go home, even if they're melting down, even if they're crying, it's not as stimulating. You feel like, okay, you're crying, whatever, it is what it is. We'll work it out, we'll deal with it. And the kids feel that. It's like when I'm calm, they can feel that I'm calm. And then it's for whatever reason, they kind of calm down a little bit themselves. Versus when I'm wound up and I'm angry or uh, tired or whatever it may be, really overstimulated. If I'm wound up and overstimulated and I raise my voice, they can feel that and it kind of makes them spiral. So if there's anything I want you to take away from this, don't look at since we are fathers now, shift how you view your exercise. Because now I went from working out to now I'm training. I'm not just lifting this weight just to be strong. I'm lifting these weights in case I have to go and grab my kid off of a off of a tree or pull them up from some random hole they found at the playground or something crazy like that. When I'm running around the track, I'm not just running to better my cardio. I'm running to make sure that I can go get my 2-year-old when he just runs off and tries to run into the street. I can go get him without any issue. I'm going to the pool and the sauna so that I can give my nervous system a break, so I can give my senses a rest from all of the daily stresses that weigh me down. So I want you to change your perspective on exercise. You're not just exercising to be healthy. Of course, you want to be healthy for your family, but you're training for fatherhood. The weights is how you're able to carry your kids when they need to be carried. The cardio is how you're able to keep up with your kids when they want to go out and do something fun, such as if they want to go to the park, if they want to go do something fun at the playground or anything, you're able to go have fun with them instead of just sitting on the bench because you're tired. And of course, that pool is for your own peace of mind. That's your own enjoyment. That sauna is for your own body to relax from all the life stresses. Now, I hope that this episode has been a blessing for you. If you enjoy this episode and you want to listen to other episodes and read other blogs or articles that we have, go ahead and visit navigatingpostpartumwellness.com. Click on our Life and Fatherhood section. Also sign up for our newsletter and check out our Dad's Daily Drive. Hope that you can go ahead and join a community of men who are looking to grow together and be the best fathers that they can be. With that being said, hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Can't wait to have you on for the next time. Take care.